Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world.
Holy Jesus.
Davey Comedy Inc. presents.
That is very funny.
The Babyface and the Goth.
What the fuck is that?
Ah, North Korea.
Babyface and the Goth.
I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom.
kdcreativemedia.co.uk for any of your graphic designer needs, or you can go onto the Goth's OnlyFans website.
Disclaimer. I'm not a goth. Big disclaimer.
You are a goth.
Well, I was in my teenage years, but not anymore.
You're a goth in heart still.
Just because I like the macabre does not make me goth.
I like the macabre too.
I suppose the death metal and the music and the cut, mostly wearing black, probably doesn't help either, though.
When you say macabre, though, what do you mean?
I think of the macabre like the concept of, slowly progressing to a disdained and despaired end, which we all are.
So true crime.
Life itself.
Life itself,
I
which
mean,
is basically true crime.
If you think about it, I like the macabre, like horror stories, creepy pasta.
Yeah.
I love that kind of shit. That stuff really kind of like rocks my world. Absolutely love it.
Have you seen? I didn't write this down or anything, but I only literally learned about this before it came out today. Did you know that? Have you seen anything about? I can't remember her name. Sarah. So for anyone listening, we record in the UK, Birmingham, UK base, England. There was a murder like half a year ago, and I think they recently, or literally even the past few days, they put the person.
Was it the cop?
It was the cop,
I
and I didn't know about. I didn't know it was a cop.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting, man.
Do you actually know what happened? Because I have no idea.
No, I can't remember the full details. All I know is that a man of the law, supposedly to protect and serve, basically took advantage and murdered a wee lass.
What a fucking surprise.
Mm.
The worst part is though, like, I've had so many conversations with people after the whole like George Floyd thing. It's like,
the George Floyd.
Yeah, it's like, just because one cop is a twat who's going to kill people doesn't mean all of them are. And then now this has happened.
I mean, to be fair though, you got to remember that the young cops are very hit and miss. Depending on obviously the state you're in. So
is that just because there's a lot more of them?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I didn't think the stereotype was real, but then all these videos that surface on the internet, it's like, holy crap, the cops really are fucking racist. Jesus.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is that just because you got to think over there? There's a huge population of people compared to what we have over here. Is it just that tiny portion of those people?
Well,
seems a lot bigger than over here.
Ultimately, you've got to think this way. There's good and bad in all types of people, but I suppose when you have the evidence there, you see like it's not just like 1, 2, 3, it's hundreds, thousands of videos of these crooked cops doing some horrid shit for no reason. It's all people of all races. But the black guys get it the worst. Let's be honest.
The what cops?
The Yanks.
No, I didn't hear what you said. Then I thought you said the black cops, and I was like,
no,
the opposite of what we're talking about.
No, the cops in America do give the black community a hell of a lot of grief. So the stereotype that you hear in all these comedy shows is surprisingly accurate.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it is kind of accurate. Because
you think that? Yeah, I just thought it was just one of those kind of like stereotypical things that just crops up in a lot of comedy over in the Yankees.
But is it just one of those things though? It's like we were talking about this literally earlier before we recorded, like about. Or last time I think actually when we were talking, you have the, it's like, it's exactly what we were saying. You have this kind of concepts as these things happen. You see that kind of thing all the time, and you always see like the bad side of things. The bad side are always the people that allow this online and that.
Well, to be fair, I mean,
you know what I mean.
It's like have you ever turned on a news station, anywhere in the world, and saw any good news? Now something good happens, something really great. It's very rare. It's very rare,
especially at the moment.
It's one of the reasons I don't like enjoying. I don't really watch the news because it's just like, the economy's crashing, the world's coming to an end, Brexit, Boris Johnson.
I generally used to watch the news all the time. I used to watch the news like fucking all the time, and lately, I can't do it because it makes me sad when I watch it. And not the racist, it annoys me. It annoys me.
It's like newspapers as well. Anything that kind of has the day-to-day news. The ratio between good news and bad news is just diabolical,
Do you know why though?
Well, bad news sells.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
because literally on like I remember hearing this thing like on Facebook, the majority of like everything that's based on Facebook, like people always say that they have all these like things pop up like stories and that annoy them, but it's only when you actually look at it, it's only because it's the bad stories, the things that annoy people are the ones that get clicked on. People are more likely to click on the things that annoy them. That's why it's always there. It's not Facebook's fault. It's people are terrible.
I don't know.
People are terrible.
These days, when I see like a little clickable article posted, shit post on Facebook these days, I usually read the comments first because someone always sums it up in a great way.
Yeah.
So there's always someone who just goes, "Don't bother reading it, guys. It's shit." And you're like, "Thank you. You just saved me a minute of my life."
Well, you know it's going to be shit, but as long as they give you the full detail of why it's shit and exactly how it's shit.
Oh yeah, they usually give like a quick overview and then just say it's a shit post article or it's fake news, as that orange man, Oompa Loompa over in Yankee Land described it as.
That's the worst thing as well, because fake news gets put in as soon as you say fake news, like you said, it gets taken straight to Donald Trump. But
he kind of coined the phrase during his presidency.
He did.
Even though the concept of fake news,
that was
Facebook's always been full of it, but
that was the one thing Donald Trump got right, is that fake news is fucking everywhere. It really is. Like the concept of, but I don't think. But at the same time, I think he always, and I think a lot of people do this, like they make out like conspiracy wise. I love my conspiracies.
Oh
yeah. Kill them in comedy. If you ever want to listen to any conspiracy theories, perfect. And there'll probably be a few on here too.
Shameless plug. It's all on the same channel. Just click off this one after you finish listening to the whole of it and click on a few of the ones underneath it. You'll see it. Same channel. But I forgot my original point now. What was it talking about? Shameless plug. Just distracted you from your own...
My shameless plug distracted me from my point. What was he talking about before that?
Well, obviously Donald Trump calling
Donald
the
Trump.
phrase.
Yeah. It's very true though, like, as soon as you hear that, you think, oh, okay, it's bullshit because of Donald Trump. But it's very true. Most of the things nowadays that you hear are fake news. Or, not even that, that was my point, not even that it's fake news. Because when he said fake news, he always said it as if people were purposely making this point of fake news. I think most of that kind of stuff comes from people being stupid.
And believing everything they read online?
Believing everything they read online, or wanting to argue against something that they don't believe, but they're like, oh, I'm outraged by that, so I have to attack it now. Even though it's nothing to do with me personally, I have to attack it for the other people that might be outraged. Don't know where that concept comes from.
There's a lot of that in the world these days.
That's what I'm saying. It's true though, isn't it? It's very true.
It's like insulting somebody and then someone else getting offended on their behalf.
That's what I'm saying. That's everywhere. Oh, you would have loved what I saw yesterday.
Good Lord, do tell.
Oh, it's on Netflix. I watched the whole season 1 in one night. It's like 3 hours, I think, that one season was. So I'm a comedian. I love like all the comedy stuff. But have you seen a comedy roast?
Oh yeah, those programs. Yeah.
Now imagine a comedy roast, but it's historical comedy roast.
So like figures from history,
so you have
ragging on each other.
All of them, full-on comedians, all known comedians, and then you have Jeff Ross, the main like. Do you know that name, Jeff Ross? Because I know you're not into the comedy stuff as much as me.
Probably not.
No, Jeff Ross is like, he's the roast master general. He's known as being the guy who, if you're going to do a roast, you want to get him in.
So he's the host of the
He's program. The host. He's the perfect host.
Okay.
He's not, in my opinion, that amazingly funny, but he's very good on a roast. He's just a good host. He's like the host of it, and then he'll bring on, like, for example, the one that, okay, I'll go to the nicer one first, actually, before I go to the meaner one. Freddie Mercury was being roasted. Obviously Freddie Mercury's dead. Brought on a comedian who, I don't even know the guy, but he was so good as Freddie Mercury, and he was just sat on the the little chair like they would be, just talking. It was so good.
So they roast dead people.
Yeah, but then everyone's their own people as well, though, because then they have like the group of roasters to the side. So they had him there like playing Freddie Mercury, but then they also had who was it? They had David Bowie being played by Seth Green.
Good Lord.
You know Seth Green? They had Princess Diana. being played by someone. I don't know who that person was, but I recognise the person, but I don't know their name. And they also had Kurt Cobain, played by Nikki Glacier, a lady person, but she did so well. It was so good. It was so fucking great. And they started it off by saying, we had this panel here because everyone's had smash hits. Kurt Cobain, many smash hits. David Bowie, many smash hits. Princess Diana, she was in a tunnel, smash hit.
Oh. Clever.
And she was a very chunky. I thought it was a guy, the person playing them, from what I saw, but I don't know. And they got onto the podium, and one of the first things said was, "I'm having an eating disorder. Obviously, I don't have that now because the comedian playing her was a chunky comedian."
Damn. That's
Great.
That's pretty harsh.
It was great. She made the point. It was fine. That one was a nice one.
That was the nice one.
One of the meaner ones, for example, Anne Frank,
Oh, good lord.
the roast of Anne Frank.
I think that girl got roasted enough, mate.
She did. It was easier to make it okay because Jeff Ross is a Jewish guy. So it was a bit easier to make it nice.
So that justifies it, does it?
Apparently. He started it off by talking about, this is probably going to end my career. It probably will. But let's have fun doing it anyway.
Let's enjoy the ride.
But the best part about it was, though, the other people they had on there, I'm trying to remember who it was. There was one in particular that I remember. I'm trying to remember the other two. There was, you'd know the guy, I can't remember his name, playing FDR. Did you ever see Rat Race? The old film?
Yes.
Do you remember the guy who got put into like the Hitler car and he fell forward and he had a
Yes.
Yeah, him.
Yes.
He's an older comedian. I can't remember his name though. He was FDR. I can't remember the other person, but then the last one, which was amazing.
It wasn't Adolf, was it?
Do you remember? I told you actually, Gilbert Godfrey, the guy who played the parrot in Aladdin. He was Hitler.
Oh, Christ.
Came out with the shorts and everything, like the German shorts, you know. He had the swastika on his arm, the moustache and everything. Everyone else through the whole of the series were like really trying to get into their character, like do the voices, do the mannerisms, do everything. He just got straight on stage and he was like, I am Adolf Hitler. That was a terrible Gilbert Godfrey impersonation, but you could probably do better.
Probably not. I can't even imitate any kind of voice like that because he just has that kind of like.
Diego? You know Diego.
I know who Iago is.
Iago.
Yeah, Iago was the parrot from the Aladdin cartoon. Yes.
Why was I thinking Diego?
I don't know where Diego from.
I don't know.
Prince Abu. No, I can't do it.
I am Hitler. I can't do it at all.
He has that kind of like raspy, kind of almost like gargling marbles kind of voice. Just like completely like it's almost like he's drowning in his own spit.
Everyone else is making a full-on effort to sound like the person they're doing it. He just comes out just sounding exactly like himself. It was amazing.
That's one thing that I found it like I couldn't really call the man an amazing voice actor because
no, he's not. No.
You know, technically he only has one voice.
He's amazing because his actual natural voice is hilarious. That's the only reason he's a good voice actor. Well, okay, that's the only reason he's a voice actor.
I don't know all his characters sound the same, but
just to clarify, the Goth man here has a freaking endless array of voices, so he's a good.
But the thing of
You
voice
have a
actors,
lot.
actually, it's like
You have a lot.
did you ever play the game Skyrim at all?
Skyrim?
Skyrim, yeah.
No, because I like vagina.
The one on your forehead doesn't count, but basically there's a voice actor who played the dragon in that, and the dragon was called Parthenax.
Wait, hold on, before we go any further, the dragon had a voice?
The voice actor who played the dragon, Parthenax, one of the leading dragons within the game.
I generally never knew that a dragon could talk in that game.
Well, they do.
Okay, we're in Hobbitland again.
You know what? It'd take too long to explain.
I don't care.
Yeah, but think of it, it's a fantasy sword game.
I understand.
Talking dragon. The guy who played Parthenax was also the same dude who used to voice Mario.
Oh.
Now going from wahoo to thoo. It was just it blew my mind. I was just like, holy shit.
I'm not just asking you so you can do it, but I can't imagine what kind of voice you would have done as a dragon. I don't know the person, but I just know that voice.
It's just kind of like deep and like kind of droning kind of voice.
I thought it wasn't that good.
I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah. I suppose it's just one of those. I enjoyed the game series, so it's just like, holy crap, it's a talking dragon and he's on our side.
I've never been. You know what? Though? I've never been into like, as you know, I've never been into like RPGs and stuff. Just so anyone knows that's listening, me and the goth boy have known each other for a long fucking time.
Too long sometimes.
Way too long, definitely way too long. You'll learn this over the next course of many episodes when I'm sure we insult each other over stuff that we've done many times. But yeah, I'm just not that into those kind of games. But
they're not everyone's cup of tea, to be fair.
It's only like it used to. This is the thing, I'm debating with this at the moment. It used to be, as you know, the RPG side of things where you have to like go and like do little things to like build yourself up and all that.
Yeah, you start building, yeah.
Yeah, but I've just got the PS4 again, as you know, but Days Gone, that game, it never stops ending. But I realised the other day, I got to the point where I spent about an hour, maybe 2 hours, driving around the area, finding plants, cutting them down, just because I knew I'd be able to make my bike better.
Which is
an RPG kind
exactly.
of. I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
a
massive advocate for those types of games. The grind is part of the enjoyment sometimes. But sometimes the grind's an absolute bitch, the thing to do. Sometimes it's like, mundane, boring.
As long as it's fun though at the same time. Because I don't know about your games when you do it.
I think it's when it's your first time through, the grind doesn't seem so bad. Or if you really love the game. So for example, like for me, I really love the Dark Souls series. So doing a grind through that.
That was the really hard one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they were very, very popular for their difficulty.
They're the best kind of games.
Oh yeah, I mean, the games these days are far too easy, man.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, the kids of today don't know they were born. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of them are crackheads on these first-person shooters. It's one of the reasons I can't stand playing them anymore. When you get shot by someone from miles away, and you're just like, how?
I've become a badass with the sniper on that Days Gone. Become a fucking badass with it. Do I say that? I'm sure if I played someone that'd been playing it for like months more than me, they'd kill me the fuck. I've just got a good sniper probably.
Yeah, you probably think you're good now, but then when you see someone who's good, it's like, I don't fancy playing anymore. Yeah. It's one of the reasons I stopped playing Call of Duty. I mean, if it wasn't kids telling it, well, I suppose that's one thing I do miss about the new Call of Duty these days. You don't get as many kids telling them to fuck your mum.
Well, you don't get as much of that.
You don't, because not many people actually got a headset on. Who's not in TeamSpeak, so most people play with their friends and are in a little group session, so they're muted. So they probably are insulting you, but you never know.
See, that's how I'd prefer to do it if I was going to do it. As you know, I just don't like the social aspect.
I think that was one beautiful thing about the old games was like that one kid who literally he was a gobshite, and you literally wrecked his shit and to the point you heard him cry.
Yeah. Not a gobshite. It couldn't deal with losing.
Like, well, that's where you go for saying you fucked my mum. Yeah. I fucked your shit up, dickhead. You little bitch, go cry to your mum.
The only times I remember from that is like playing GTA. I think that was like one of the only games I played with you guys as like a group.
Oh my god, man!
GTA?
Yeah, GTA Online, GTA 5.
I don't think I played Call of Duty much with you guys or any of that stuff. So.
Well, I think the only time we played stuff like that was like around one of our old mates' houses when we got gathered in person, did the old split screen and stuff like that. You know, there's a few friends' houses we popped round to play games and gather, amongst other things. Yeah, histories.
Days Gone though. I'm not going to talk about this too much, but I'm really enjoying that game now. But I'm still, as I said to you, like obviously, if I say for anyone who doesn't know, none of you would know because this was a private conversation. Before I've only just got a PS4 back. I've only just started playing games again, and I've been playing Days Gone, an amazing zombie game, and I don't like games where you have to be social all the time because I'm an antisocial bastard. I just am. I have the few people that I like this weird goth over here, and a few of the comedians that I've met that are fucking lovely. But most of the time, I just don't care. If I'm going to play a game, I just want to sit on my own, get high, and play my game.
I think that's one thing I hate about like the MMO RPGs, like the massive multiplayer online ones. Yeah, is the fact that once you actually kind of develop a community online, you've lost your soul to it.
You're stuck into it.
It's one of the reasons I never played WoW from World of Warcraft or anything like that, because I was terrified of like making a friend on it and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't even do it now. I avoid people. It's like, oh, thanks for your help, mate. Like, yeah, no worries, bye.
Did you ever see that World of Warcraft? The only thing I know from Wait, is it World of Warcraft or Warhammer? Is it? No, Warhammer's like the table-based one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. World of Warcraft. Then there was like a accidental virus that was put into it, and it carried on and almost killed the whole game. I swear that was a thing.
I had heard that there was an error where like it would walk people to their death or something like that. Like someone would have an error and it would basically like walk their character off a cliff or something.
No, this was like an actual like little virus thing that was going around.
Wouldn't surprise me. There's been many issues with the game over the years, in which the devs had to like massively like pull a few all-nighters to fix. But then again, now you can get the original version of WoW now, because obviously if you looked at some of
You
it,
fucking geek.
what? Still call it WoW?
You can get this whole thing of WoW now.
I know bits and pieces about it, but I don't know enough to say I'm a geek, because
I'm a total geek. But,
I understand the concept of the game, but I think after you see some of these like expansions, they look absolutely.
North Korea.
You know, if they added like a panda to any of the games I played, I'm pretty sure I'd start playing them as well.
I'm just going to note down that time, 25 minutes, because people get really angry when you say that word.
What? What word?
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh.
I don't know why. I had this long conversation with Nathan
Whether
Parrish.
you them to call them the Flid instead.
What? I don't give a shit what you say.
Flid's worse.
No, to be fair though, me and Nathan Parrish, the Kill Them Comedy podcast, so if we had this conversation, we had a long conversation about it, why the word retarded is now like just seen as a terrible thing. It's like, just because of what it meant at one point, it's not a terrible thing, it's just because of what it meant at one tiny point in the world.
I think it's probably because too many people have used it as an insult.
Exactly.
It's sort of it's any kind of word that you throw at people to hurt their feelings. I mean, retardation is actually defined as...
It's an actual definitive word.
Yeah, it's obviously
What would you class retard as meaning?
a person with mental deficiencies that don't allow them to look after themselves to full capacity as such as others.
There you go. Maybe we should just cut this whole bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's just cut this whole bit. 27 minutes. Cut.
Cut conversation about... Don't say the R word again.
Hold on, where are we at? 27.9.
Does that mean they don't like the word artard either?
Artard's fine.
Artard's fine.
Artard's
retard.
not the same word.
It's literally...
I know that. This is the ridiculousness of language nowadays, Dom. D.
So
Dom D.
I can't say fag or queer or
You can say fag.
gay.
I'm going to go have a fag after we finish. And then I'm going to have a fag. Yeah, boy.
Oh, then again, knowing the Yanks, if this ever got heard
Fuck
through
the
my
Yanks.
Yank, they literally see fag as like a derogative term for a homosexual.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Obviously, it's over here. It's a cigarette, and then the original term was it's a faggot. Was originally a term for a
Faggot,
bundle
but
of
that's
sticks.
food. That's still food, though.
A fagot is a...
No, faggots. I go into shop. I like faggots. Faggots are really nice.
The little ball of meat and gravy. The gross.
Yeah. From you know. Yeah, you know.
I know what a faggot is. But
Yeah,
the
like
thing
faggot
is,
sticks.
there was another word.
Faggot and peas.
There was faggot, and there was fagot or faggot or something like a similar word, but it actually meant a bundle of sticks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's where the term came from.
See, this is amazing though. I'd love. This is when I go back like to doing stand up again, like next month.
Mhm.
I wrote a whole set last night about how not whole set, sorry, a whole bit about how
Maybe we should cut this whole bit out as well.
no, this is fine now. I've got it where we got to.
That's cut it all. Cut it all.
No, we're good now.
Cut it.
We're talking about faggots and peas and having a fag. It's fine. Language is the important part. This is what I'm trying to say. That when you get like,
Well, you've got to ultimately understand that obviously language is obviously contextual.
this is the point.
To the
Language,
situation.
yeah, language gets forgotten way too much. Like people in America forget what other people in the world talk
Well,
about, and
just think
vice
about it.
versa.
It's like calling someone gay. The original term for gay was happy.
Yeah,
Someone,
exactly.
overly happy.
Yeah.
And
I don't-
to call someone gay. I mean, if they're having a really great day, they are gay. And they're really happy.
Yeah.
But
And
obviously
it's
now-
not an insult if you call someone gay anyway. If they like penis, they like penis.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, why shy away from your true self? If it does define you. If it doesn't, why get upset about it? Just think of a better insult. It's like, oh, you called me gay.
Yeah.
Well, you were a fuckhead.
You know, actually, I am going to pause this though just for a sec because I really need a piss. I haven't broke the seal
Moist
yet.
bladder.
I haven't broke the seal yet. I mean,
Now that you break it, you will pee.
No, yeah, I know. Oh, okay. I am back. I have my wee, and we were going to talk about language, but I was going to get into my talk about the new bit that I've written for the Nottingham Comedy Festival coming up in mid-November. But I shouldn't talk about it yet, though, really, because I'm really looking forward to saying it on stage. But it might get me attacked. But I think how I've written it is very smart. So I'll tell you about it when we're smoking outside, and we'll ignore it for now. Okay. So
Cryptic metaphor.
Cryptic metaphor, because fuck y'all, if you want to listen, then come to the Nottingham Comedy Festival. I would tell you when it is and what time, but right now, I don't know.
Shameless plug number 3.
Shameless plug number 2.
I'm pretty sure you plugged at the start.
Yeah, so number 2
And
now.
that's the third plug.
No.
You plugged.
Killed him in comedy.
And you plugged.
Oh, I plugged my website as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Shameless plugging.
It's on my channel. It's fine. You want to plug anything, Dom? D.
Maybe your
Dumb D.
gob hole.
Okay, no then. Okay, let's move on to some of the stuff that's actually been going on lately then. So, where we are now, we're on the 2nd of October, 2021. Shit. So, obviously, like I said, we're in England at the moment then. I'm sure you must have heard of this, because I know that you are around drivers and stuff.
I don't live in a box. That's the main one thing.
Well, you do live in a box, a very posh box, to be fair. It's a really nice box. It's a sexy box, to be fair.
Don't touch my box. Okay. Considering there's another term, I'm brushing off the language with the previous subject. Obviously, talking about someone's box has an alternative meaning.
Does it? What else could it mean?
Don't act ignorant, you bastard.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's move on.
Okay. So, the Petrol Crisis, you must have heard of
Yes.
this. I purposely didn't talk to you about this
Heavy
earlier.
goods vehicle issue where drivers are no longer being able to
No, even
transport
just that.
petrol, food, all sorts all over
Yeah.
the country due to a shortage, which is a bit of a shock. Might have something to do with that naughty Brexit.
No, it's a bit of a shock in the sense that it's not real.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
it's completely fabricated.
Yeah,
because
it's
people
bullshit.
Because people aren't travelling due to COVID restrictions. There's a lot of stagnant petrol sitting in a lot of petrol garages, and it's perceived. Well, what a lot of people do tend to think.
Number 3 beer. Continue.
A lot of people what do they believe is the fact that it's a conspiracy between BP or whoever the big fucking naughty man is, and between the government and whoever the companies to shift the old petrol so they can get the new stock in. So they create a panicked situation in order to influence the market to get people to buy more, thinking, oh no, we're not gonna. But then, because the only shortage is the reason there's a shortage is because a lot of people are panic buying again.
That's it. There's no. There is no shortage. There is no shortage.
Yeah, there's shortage.
There's no shortage.
The only reason I say shortage is the fact that you find a fair few petrol stations that are.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
Well, it's a Yank term.
Yeah,
Because let's just say it logically.
To be fair, there's a lot more Americans that listen to stuff, and then a lot.
Let's just put it this way.
Unless you live in England, anyone that listens to this is going to be more influenced by Americans than us. So just talk Yank. It's easier. It's easier.
Just going to say this now to any American listeners. So we call it petrol, and you call it gas. It's a liquid.
Yeah.
Let's just
think about that for 1 second.
let that sink in.
Let that sink in.
Anyway.
In a way that gas can't. Let that sink in.
Mm.
Yeah. That worked. That did work.
I suppose you can diffuse into your bloodstream if you breathe
I
it in.
suppose
But
it can, but you're speaking way too smart for American listeners.
let's not berate the poor buggers, though. They're
Okay.
smart in their own little way.
They're smart in their own little way, sure. I'm going to stop talking now.
What was the term? Went off on a tangent. Oh, that was it. The petrol shortage.
The thing is, though, I love
Open.
Americans as well. I want to go to... No, I don't love Americans. I love America.
I don't.
I do, but I don't love the government that runs it. I love America. The people, some of them seem a lot more able to take a joke than...
Don't get me wrong. As a people, they've got a great sense of humour.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Strive for the best. So they're great,
but your government is stupid. Our government's stupid too, but your government's even more stupid.
I don't know.
You elected fucking Trump. We didn't elect
We
Alan
have
Sugar.
Boris Johnson.
Yeah, but we don't have Alan Sugar.
Who the fuck's Alan? Oh, wait, yeah.
He's our version of Trump.
Oh, it's Sir Alan Sugar.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knighted him? Oh, yeah, of course, the Queen.
And to be fair,
Liz,
though,
we have some problems.
At least our version of Donald Trump has got like many businesses that have actually been, that have actually been, what's the word? Like they've worked, they've been successful, they've been profitable. Whereas Trump, every business he's had has failed.
See, I always thought our equivalent of Trump was like Nigel Farage, because
Nigel Farage, what?
Yeah, just an old racist prick.
Nigel Farage isn't an old racist prick though.
Isn't he in the BNP?
No, isn't he? Wait, which one is he?
Nigel Farage. I'm pretty sure he's in the BNP.
Oh, is he? Wasn't he in something else first?
The National Front, maybe. I just when I think.
Oh yeah, Nigel Farage. He was in. Yeah, you might be right. Actually, yeah. I think he was. I feel like he was in something else as well first, but.
I don't know, probably the Nazi Party, the Third Reich.
Nazi Party.
That's one. Yeah.
British racists are still more polite than American theists.
Well, one thing I can never understand is...
Probably. I don't know what theist even is, to be honest. I don't think that's even a term.
You know when you find in certain prisons, you find a group of white people who tend to have these certain swastika tattooed on them.
Oh yeah, God knows why. Don't know why. I don't know why they have that on them.
Think of it this way. How can you be British and be a Nazi at the same time? That makes no sense. That's what we were fighting them against in World War II. That basically makes you an idiot.
Well, there's many things that could make them an idiot for that reason. But
well, the fact that hating someone effortlessly for their skin colour is a waste of fucking energy and time.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You get dickheads in all colours and shapes and stuff.
Oh, you get dickheads everywhere. Any kind of person could be a dickhead.
Exactly.
Anyone. Yeah.
But hating them simply for their skin colour is so...
Yeah, when there's so many other reasons to hate someone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, just because your skin colour is different to mine doesn't make it change any of the fact that you're a prick.
Yeah.
But then I've met
I can
so
think
many more.
of so many people that I dislike and would like to fall off a cliff or play in the road, and they're the same colour as me. So many people.
Yeah, to be fair, Whitey's got to pay. To be fair, actually, yeah. I mean, if you think about like all these terrible stereotypes and all that, I think the only
white people are worse normally.
Of course they are.
We are normally worse.
I've only been.
Really.
I've been robbed a few times. To be fair,
I've never been robbed.
I think it's happened a
been
few
attempted
times.
to.
No, I think there was one attempt that failed. At least it wasn't armed, sadly.
That was what?
What?
Well, that's the thing, though. I was about to say it's easier over here because we're not silly and we don't allow people to buy guns.
Yeah,
because
but the Yanks are smart. When someone breaks into your house, they're armed automatically. So think of it this way: someone breaks into your house, they've probably used a tool to gain entry. That means that they are armed. Obviously, it's a melee weapon over here because we don't have guns.
They're armed in the sense that they have something they can hit you with, whereas anything near you can hit them with too.
Yeah, but then legally, in the old Yankee town, they're doing it. I think they're doing it right because if someone breaks into your house, that means you can gun them the shit down.
Oh no, that's fair.
Because I imagine
straight up. Yeah.
I'd have a Gatling gun.
Kill like the whole crowd outside.
Exactly.
Your whole neighbourhood of Gatling guns as fuck, but at least you killed the robber.
Exactly. It's just like ho motherfucker.
Ho motherfucker, I've got a Gatling gun.
Yeah man, I use the old classic yippee-ki-yay. There you go. No more intruder. The cops can come and scrape the rest of him off my floor.
Amazing.
I mean, they're doing it right. If someone breaks into our house, what are they doing? Someone breaks into your house in England, you do any grievously harm to him, you're getting arrested. But it wouldn't have happened if he didn't come into the house. But in the Yanks, it's just like, oh fuck, blow the cunt away, bang.
I mean, that's how we should be though. If they're coming into your house, then any rights they had when they came in, they left.
At that point, as soon as they're broken, you may as well just do them away and bury them in your floor, because at least that way.
Well, I don't know, your house might smell.
Wow.
That's the only problem I have with that. Your house might smell.
Well, I suppose you were partial to a bit of ritualistic cannibalism. I suppose you could always just turn into a food source.
Which you could do. I mean, that would help as well, considering how things are going at the moment. But the easier thing might be just taking them into your backyard and just bury in a grave. Bury in a grave? That's not the word. Dig in a grave?
Dig in a grave.
Dig in a grave, yeah.
You bury the corpse, you dig
bury the corpse, dig in a grave.
The problem is there's too many nosy neighbours. What's our neighbour doing? There's a big project in the garden. Is it going to be a rose bush? No, it's a
true. British people are fucking nosy.
I used to have one person live by me, man, and You know, like the hot, was it Hot Fuzz?
Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, well, the neighbourhood association.
Yeah,
Great, so
yeah.
good. He was one of them. One of these people who just like, don't get me wrong, he was a nice enough bloke, but he could not keep his nose out of anyone else's business.
Which sometimes is, you need that person sometimes in the neighbourhood, but it's when they're getting involved in things that they don't need to.
Well, it's the fact that, he was always at his window or at his door, always taking like an interest in other people's shit. And the worst part about it is you couldn't walk past him without engaging you into a long, drawn-out, nauseating conversation.
Yeah.
So for me, I hated his guts in a nice way. Cause,
Good.
it's just like, hi, what? I can't even remember his name now, which is the worst part. It's like, I just wish to go to the shop. And you've been talking to me for 15 minutes now, and I'm too nice to say, can you please shut your cake hole? I wish to go to the shop.
That's your problem, you're too nice.
Yes, that is my problem.
I would just find any excuse to leave. I used to be just as nice as you, to be fair. I think it came from you, like putting it onto me.
Oh,
And now, just no.
dropped off the good path, Carl. But anyway, we've really stopped very far from the original topic of the so-called fuel shortage.
Oh yeah, well, the fuel shortage. Actually, that's a good point. Actually, yeah, the fuel shortage. I don't think that's actually real. It's the same thing as in when, like, no, 2020 October. So
Let's
like
think of it
what,
this way,
a
like,
year
how
and a
much
half
can
ago.
you honestly trust your government to give you accurate information?
Oh, it's not the
these days?
government. Everyone always puts too much fucking thing on the government. This bothers me.
If they did their job properly, shit like this wouldn't happen.
No. It's nothing to do with the government.
They control the media.
Hold on. No, they don't control the media. They don't control the media.
The men in black hood, the men in red hoods.
Ugh. For someone who does a conspiracy theory podcast, they don't control the media. Everyone assumes they control everything, and then as soon as anything happens, people are like, oh, well, it's the government's fault. Because for some reason, everyone thinks the government is amazing. Everyone thinks the government's amazing until anything happens, and all of a sudden, the government can't do anything. The government falls apart.
To be fair, I mean,
how can you be both?
I think the worst part, a great example, obviously, the government's failings. Half of the departments don't talk to each other.
Yeah, the government's failing is that they can't do anything, which means that none of this conspiracy stuff is because of the government, and it should be. If a government was a good government, it should be, but it's not. Well, it shouldn't be.
It's too many people, too much human error and human greed.
People are dumb. The government's dumb. No one can do this shit. You can't keep this shit together. None of it is actually thought out in any manner. None of this vaccine is put in there to like follow you. We don't have the vaccine so that they can see what you're doing. We haven't got the what's the the fuel shortage so they can stop you from doing whatever you want to do. It's all just stupidity. The only reason we have conspiracies and all this stuff going on is because the government's shit.
How long?
That's not because of Boris. It's the government shit.
If I recall, though, petrol does have a shelf life.
Oh yeah,
before it goes stagnant and bad.
Yeah. There's only so much There's only so much petrol in the world. Full stop.
And how long is it before petrol usually goes bad? Is it like maybe a year?
I don't know.
Almost 2 years?
No. But what's going on right now is because people are doing the same thing they did when the pandemic started, and they're panic buying. So we ran out of what I had a whole fucking bit about this myself. We ran out of pasta. We ran out of toilet roll. We ran out of hand sanitizer during a fucking pandemic. Hand sanitizer.
Oh, that wasn't too bothered about that because I had a couple of bottles of soap in the house.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm saying. We ran out of all those things.
Oh yeah, I think we were had to
It's not because
I think to eat pesto pasta for like nearly 3 weeks. Got it.
Oh no.
Yeah, don't oh no me, that was a fucking tragedy.
Pasta's nice.
It's dank, but
dank blood.
Yes,
if anyone doesn't understand dank in English terms, it means very, very nice. That girl over there, she is dank.
If you're actually checking the dictionary, that means dark and damp, so
That's true, actually.
people use it as a good term.
But to be fair, if you look at a girl and she's dark and damp, probably good.
Oh, that once again
That was a bit
depends on
sexist and a little bit racist, doesn't it?
that depends on context also as well. She's dark and damp. So did she fall into a duck pond?
I don't know. If there was a woman walking over to me and she was dark and damp, I'd be game.
I don't know. Now I just can't get the image of like some poor lass out there falling into a duck pond and being stained. Because you know what duck ponds are like. They're literally like a stagnant pool of bird poo in water.
My penis is mad hard right now.
That was surprisingly clever for you.
Yeah, I know.
That was really clever.
It happens every now and then.
Fucking hell.
Sometimes.
That makes the total of smart things Carl has said up to the total of 7.
I don't know who Kyle is, but KD is. Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm Kyle, I'm KD, I'm both. I've been called everything. Normally dickhead on a podcast. Usually.
I don't know.
As in my normal life. James Bond.
Not
We
interested.
What day is it now? It's Saturday. So
Came
James
out
Bond.
yesterday.
No, 2 days ago. Came out Thursday.
Most of the cinemas are usually showing a lot and dedicating a lot of screens to this movie.
Yeah, you know.
It's 2 hours and 45 minutes long, man. The fuck?
I mean, that's fine. You know, I'm a fucking cinema lover. I have my limited card, and I was going to go and
You
watch
also
it.
have a small bladder, so how are you going to see it all in one sitting without having to go to the toilet?
That is true. I do have to run to the toilet normally, but I know where they are when I run. I run straight up.
You should take like what are they called now?
I'm not going to piss in a bottle. I'm not going to piss in a bottle.
Well, to be fair, being surrounded.
Cavita.
Yeah, cavity. Yeah. I was going to say, to be fair, I mean, getting out of a bottle and then deciding to, unzip your trousers and plug yourself in to have a whiz in the bottle next to like other cinema goers, like shoulder to shoulder, would be a little bit awkward.
That's the one beautiful thing though, since the pandemic, for an antisocial bastard like me, it means you can't be sat next to someone now. Right now, even right now, you can't be sat next to anyone else, and I love it. I've never been I haven't seen a single film filled anywhere near that point yet. And I've been right on the first day when something came out.
Didn't it smell like there was a cinema in Sweden that replaced its chairs with beds?
I don't know.
That sounds like an amazing idea. It'd be good. It'd be a good and bad idea at the same time, because couples are going there probably for like a cheap thrill.
Whatever.
But the worst part about it is knowing that you're going into a cinema with bed sheets that countless other people have probably fornicated in, and that.
Oh, I'm a dirty bastard. I don't mind.
Stronger with the black light, man. The horror.
They'll probably tell me.
Look like a slasher film.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. How did it get onto the ceiling?
You know what though? You say that I could completely imagine the cinemas look like that anyway. Really think about it.
I mean, I
remember you in the cinema.
What?
In the past. Covered up.
I don't recall.
With your lady person. I'm not going to say a name, obviously, but.
I don't recall this.
Author.
Hmm?
Author.
Oh, good lord.
There you go. You got this. Okay, cool. I remember you guys fucking tucked up. You turned like seats into beds. I was like, what the fuck are they doing over there? I don't know. Just ignore them. Just watch the film.
It's a darker time in my life.
That was the younger times of the goth.
I was stupid back then.
We were all stupid back. I'm stupid now still.
Too many public fornication encounters. You can meet lovely dog walkers though that way.
I don't know if I've ever really. This is the thing I've always wanted to, but I don't know if anyone I've been with has really been into fucking in public.
I'm
never
been brave enough to do it at daylight, but night it's fine.
I've done it like parties and like people's like in the toilets and shit like that.
Never inviting you to a party again with a lady friend. Don't you dare lock that toilet door, you prick.
No, it's definitely not I'm not going to say that part actually.
Don't incriminate yourself.
I'm not going to say that part. See, I've learned to self-edit. I've learned.
That's going to be a story for the smoking area.
But no. I thought you meant my programme then.
Not your programme.
Oh, okay. No. I can't wait to get that done, man. It's a good fucking programme.
Yeah, as long as you make it a reality.
It can be a reality. What do you mean? That's the one thing I learned, after looking at different production companies of what they wanted and like what kind of pictures they were taking like, online and stuff. The majority of them are angled towards factual documentary programs and reality, which is very strange, I thought.
Yeah, especially when a lot of their obviously so-called reality programs are very treated.
Yeah.
Not very much. There's not much reality in them.
Yeah,
And the
Exactly,
fact that,
yeah.
You know, there's all these fucking Love Islands and all this garbage that people watch on television. That's probably why I don't stand watching
Love
TV.
Island, not so much, but that's only because they're stuck in there for like, what, 24 hours a day, and you only see about, 15 minutes all in all, so they can edit it down and make the narrative how they want it to. But then you look at it like, like Geordie Shore and Essex and all those things.
I used to think they were.
They can script it, anyway, is what I mean.
Well,
What were you going to say then?
I used to actually think one of those programs was more of reality TV than actual sitcom-y kind of soap opera. Because I actually generally thought they were idiots.
I mean,
But it
they
turns out they
are.
were acting as idiots. And I was like, oh, so they're not stupid.
No, they are themselves, because if you're looking at them and thinking they're just acting that way, you're giving them too much. You're saying they're a great actor, and they're not.
They were just really great at being themselves, which is
They were just
stupid.
good at over pushing themselves. They probably just got wasted most of the time.
That wouldn't be so bad.
I know me, like 7 years ago, if I'd have been given plenty of alcohol, drugs or whatever, because drugs may be illegal, but production companies, we know for a fucking fact they give them. I know for a fact, definitely I've seen it. They give them.
So much drugs. But BBC, please, just take them.
Even when I was in that little one, where they were talking, you remember the manager guy that we had for the band and that? He was talking about when he used to be in, I'm purposely not saying names, he used to talk about when he was doing these different things and that, and they used to have to purposely go and find the band their drugs or do whatever thing they were doing, it was part of the actual budget.
Oh, I mean, if you
Legit budget, part of it was for their drugs.
well, there's tons of stories about that. When obviously it used to be a lot more prevalent in the
You're on about Blues Brothers?
80s and 90s and stuff like
Jim
that.
Belushi.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like actors, bands especially, like the managers were literally like, right, there you go, guys, you need a little pick me up before you go on. You need to really knock them dead tonight.
Which, from my personal point of view, fair enough.
Well, to be fair, I mean, at the end of the day, you want these people to do their best, and they need a bit of a pep.
I mean, we thought, not we, but
That's probably why a lot of them are dying these days.
that is one of the main reasons that Germany was able to go so fucking full hog for 2 world wars. They
Yeah.
had a lot of drugs.
You know about Panzerchock?
Yeah, Panzerchock and just general.
You know what Panzerchock is, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't that.
It's meth chocolate.
Yeah, was it meth or was it coke?
Methamphetamines.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you see them smell like meth, man. They're fucking insane.
I forget which is which. Like, which is methamphetamine again? Oh, you know, like who? Like, give me an example.
And crystal meth, obviously.
Crystal meth, so that's like Dr. Bounty Hunter, and then all the people in Hawaii that used to call it ice. That was all them. lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, you can get some shit done on it. I suppose.
I bet you fucking could.
I wouldn't dare mess with it though. 'Cause Jesus Christ.
Not again.
I mean, you always did look a bit like a crackhead. So.
I always look like a crackhead. I get called this many times on stage. I make a point of this on purpose. Oh, I need to remember that. I'll show you the little joke that I wrote actually last night while watching all those historical roasts. You know, when you're just watching shit, and it's like you're a musician, so you understand if you're watching music, you kind of think of things without meaning to. It just flows to you. I was doing that last
when you
night.
originally said historical roast, I actually thought like you would like going to be roasting people from great figures from history.
It was.
Well, I was expecting greater figures from history.
Martin
rather
Luther
than-
King was one.
Yeah, I was expecting.
Cleopatra was another
But
one.
that's more better examples than
Muhammad Ali was one.
rather than like Princess Diana. I mean, it's not exactly. I wouldn't call.
No,
them
she
like
wasn't the roaster. She wasn't the main roast. She was just one of the
a side character.
roasters for that one. Yeah.
I don't know, I just expected
Who was
like
the first?
greater kind of historical figures. Like
Abraham Lincoln was one.
Lincoln.
Freed the slaves. Although we learned during his roast, he didn't. He just took credit for it.
He freed them after we did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We freed them first in England. No, it's true. We did. We like decades before, and then even when Abraham Lincoln freed them, you can't see it on the podcast, but I'm doing bunny ears right now. Freed them. There was this other person. I can't remember her name. Ada something, and she did most of it. And then he just kind of signed it off, and they were making out like that was nothing. But I'm like, well, if you sign it off legally, then it's going to mean a lot still anyway. So I'm sure he did loads.
No, I
Still.
suppose if you pass a bill on it, that's
Yeah.
technically the president
That's a
taking
lot.
action.
That's still a lot.
Well, of course, it's a piece of paper that legally binds you, doesn't it?
Yeah. And he was the tallest president ever. I think 6'5", they
His
said.
hat doesn't count.
Like that.
He always had that. Like, you always depict him as like having like one of those really
hat.
ridiculous sized top hats.
Oh,
on.
he did have that. And he was a collegiate wrestler as well.
It was a what?
Collegiate wrestler. So for anyone who doesn't know, again, I love my wrestling.
What the hell's a collegiate wrestler?
Hence why I have the Wrestling with Comedy podcast. That is plug number
4.
4. Even though that hasn't been going on for about 5 months now, because wrestling has been getting really boring lately.
It's boring anyway.
No, the last half a month it's got good again with AEW because WWE sucks balls right now.
It also sucks balls, Carl. It's all boring.
It's not all boring.
Stop watching your man soap.
I'm going to show you out there, and you will see how.
No.
The only reason that AEW, the new wrestling company, if anyone doesn't know, I'm sure if anyone's into America, they'll know, because Americans weirdly know a lot about wrestling. It's weird.
Well, they do it in college and stuff like that. It's a sport over there, isn't it?
No, that's amateur wrestling, but I'm on about professional wrestling. Like, well, I suppose it's still.
It's the same thing. It's a
It's
sport.
not the same thing.
Well, wrestling.
Wrestling. That's different, yeah. Wrestling.
Well, the only reason I call it a man soap because half the time it's.
You don't understand how much any wrestling fans will hear what we were talking about, and as soon as you said wrestling, it's like, yeah, wrestling. That's what wrestling is.
Actual wrestling, rather than
Not amateur wrestling.
Not talking into a microphone, going, "I'm gonna kill you." And
No,
it's like
4
episodes later,
that
getting
is
the world's
wrestling.
most fake punch ever.
That is wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah, the fake stuff is as much as I don't think it's fake, and it's not fake, but it is fake at the same time.
Of course it is.
It is fake. Of course it is.
Well, the other thing is, like, the only real thing is the slams and the throws, because you can't really fake
AEW,
gravity.
yeah, but AEW keep dropping people on their heads. I
And
don't like it.
when they get,
I'm
like-
an older person now. I'm 30. I feel so anxious seeing people drop each other on their heads. You don't understand how scary it is to watch.
And when they
I
get
love these
27
people,
Chris Benoit's come out of nowhere and decide to murder people,
but that's different.
it's not that different. He literally fucked himself up for all of the
No,
years.
no.
dude.
He murdered people though. There are others that murder
He
people.
had brain damage.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
all these other people getting dropped on the head. You're gonna have another 20.
Which is why it's that's why it's scary again now, because they stopped it for ages for like the last 10 years, and then now we're back to this point now where WWE stopped it, but AEW drop them on their heads.
Cripple Cross faced his own child to death.
He did. But his other child wants to come into wrestling now as David Benoit, which is very strange.
One of his kids survived.
Oh no, this is the kid from so he was in one relationship, he had a kid, David Benoit, and then he went into another relationship, had this other kid, I can't remember the kid's name to be honest. Killed that kid, but the older one's still alive. And I'm like, how are you so okay with that? Like, do you not realise if you were younger and now okay.
Well, yeah, let's face it, I mean, I wouldn't want to be associated with anything like that.
Well no, it's because you're a stable, smart person. To a point. You dress like a goth, but you're a stable, smart person.
I don't look like an undead mime that's basically going to drink your blood at the first given chance. Not
You
anymore.
Not anymore. No, that's because you got older.
That's one fact. I couldn't afford the clothes anymore.
But sadly, I do still have a bit of a baby face, just because I can't help it. Although, baby face has been weathered by a bit of crack, at least.
You look like a baby face that's had his face squashed between a door.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, as long as you're happy.
Makes you feel a little bit older, a little more distinguished.
Distinguished. That's one way of putting it.
It's one good way. Oh, one other thing I was going to talk to you about today. Strictly Come Dancing. You know that program, don't you?
You used to have what's his face, Bruce Forsyth on it.
Yeah, he used to be the host originally.
Say nice.
But I don't understand why. Like, this has just started up again. For anyone listening in England, you know he's just started up again. As much as most people don't like it because we're smart. Although, to be fair, this is the first year I understood the
Isn't it all
entertainment. No, those things aren't rigged because it doesn't mean anything.
I don't know. I always thought television programs like game shows are all rigged.
These are the ones that go on for like months and months. They're not rigged because it means nothing.
Oh, like Simon
Why are you
Cowell's-
going to rig something that means nothing?
What is it called? Is it X Factor? It's not Pop Idol anymore.
You know,
is it?
Britain's Got Talent. Well, X Factor is the other one.
Oh.
X Factor is the singers. Britain's Got Talent is anything.
Ah, silly. Now I'm with you.
Yeah.
X
But
Factor.
that's
What happened to
ITV.
the other one then? What was the other one? Pop Idol?
Pop
What
Idol.
happened to
That became X Factor. Pop Idol. Pop Stars, then Pop Idol, then X Factor.
The thing is that I always hate about these shows is they exploit people's genuine talent. and they get into like this shit contract only to disappear. Very few people that make it through that show, and it's like
Yeah,
why?
that's very true.
And because of that show, a lot of the live music industry, like in regards to like pubs and stuff like that,
yeah.
it's all dying because of that dickhead and his shit show.
I don't know, is it really? Because we're
Yes.
from completely different music styles. Like, we're
Even still.
alternative rock, metal, you more so than me, but me still as well, a lot compared to that.
But thanks to that, like people want.
I love my
rather
rap
than
more,
like,
you live your like hard metal more,
Yeah, it's like all
but
this.
we still meet in the middle.
Obviously, you won't see a full-on death metal act appearing on X Factor. Although I'd love to see like a proper death metal band just go.
That'd be
You know,
good.
that'd be amazing. Just
It's on Eurovision at least now, and it has been for.
yeah, Eurovision actually takes into consideration.
They do.
music
That's one
tastes.
cool thing. That is one cool thing about Eurovision. They're very political, but they actually appreciate different styles of music. Lordy, like what, 15 years ago?
Has it been that long?
Something like that, yeah,
I was
honestly.
back in school, wasn't it? To be
Yeah,
fair, now I
man.
think about it. Secondary school, like,
I think it was 2007. No, actually,
2007,
I'll have a look.
2008.
Well,
We were one with Hard Rock Hallelujah.
yeah, I was listening to that literally earlier today.
Oh, it's a classic, isn't it? Well, sorry, you could already call it a classic, but yeah.
Lordy. Oh, Lordio. Who's Lordio? Lordy. There you go. Win. What year did
Song
Lordy win
Contest.
Eurovision? 2006?
2006, man. Oh,
So
God.
how long ago? 15. Oh, I was right. 15 years ago. I was exactly right.
On the dot, mate.
Wow.
15
That's rare.
years, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
To be fair, actually, thanks to that. Actually, I think it was around the same time I discovered Lordy that they suddenly appeared on Eurovision.
Well, I was. Yeah, I'd
So-
never heard of them before.
I think, yeah, well, back in the days of LimeWire and downloading songs illegally via a share program that
Yeah.
fucked your
No,
shit
there
up.
was LimeWire and FrostWire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Remember LimeWire. Frostwire was just as bad, it was blue.
It was the same thing. It was just like
Instead of
you know,
a picture of a line, it
different
had a picture of a
domain name.
snowflake.
Yeah.
But it still destroyed your computer, and once you opened your computer up to it, your files were never safe ever again. So, you know, if you ever used the program, I hope you didn't save anything risque or...
See, I've learned
documents
since I
with your
got my
name
new
on.
laptop to only. I say that only put the right stuff on it, but I watch a lot of random shit on it. The only thing I don't watch is porn, even though, despite the fact that porn now is such a fucking endless industry. There's legit sites. Pornhub, you're never going to get a virus from Pornhub. You're
think
not going to.
There was someone else who
Never
spoke
gonna
about
happen.
this somewhere. Like, you're more likely to get a virus from visiting a Christian website
Yeah.
than you are from
Definitely.
like, a porn website, simply
100.
because the
Bigger business.
websites are well maintained by
Yep.
actual industries, whereas the Christian ones are most likely maintained by someone's nephew
It makes perfect sense when you think about it.
or someone's niece, you know, equal opportunity and all that.
Where men and women are allowed the same nowadays. Not in Christianity though.
In most religions, but that's not.
Not in Christianity. What are you talking about? Adam's rib was not
Oh, yeah,
Madadam's rib.
One of Adam's ribs was used to create Eve,
Yeah,
which makes no
exactly.
sense considering, like, you know, one rib, an entire body.
Oh, it does make sense because women technically, I think, do technically have one less rib, but that's only because
Isn't
of
it
you know.
men technically has one less rib if that's the case?
Oh yes, oh yeah.
But then they also believe in like a snake that managed to convince them to eat a forbidden fruit, which I never was. You must not eat from the fruit of
We
knowledge.
cannot start talking about what is wrong with religion right now. At this point, we're over an hour in. We're coming to the end now. We cannot talk about what is wrong with religion at this point.
There's one
We are
massive
at the
thing wrong
end.
with religion.
Huh?
There's one massive thing wrong with religion. It all started with incest.
That's about the only thing you got right, in my opinion.
What? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
I love that though. When you talk to people, like it is beautiful when you talk to people about religion.
Well, I don't know. There most people
If-
encounter wild
actually,
religion
yeah.
at work, but I can't talk about it.
So I
Because
was going to say to you, one thing to say to someone about why religion is dumb, not any particular religion. So you can be one thing from one religion or all of them or one specific religion. I'm going to do a specific one. So if you anything, why would religion be dumb?
why would religion be dumb?
A specific thing that they believe, you know. Do you want me to go
I
first?
literally believe in a giant invisible man. Why is he male?
That is the true thing. Why is he male?
I mean, if anything, it'd make more sense being a woman, you know, because
It would make more
creating
sense.
a life is
Mhm.
more, you know, something that women can do.
Do you know what the Greek goddess of fertility is called that I learned during that roast thing?
Greek goddess of fertility.
Women, motherhood and fertility. And a few other things because they had a few things each.
Also, I'm thinking of Aphrodite's beauty. I think she was
Do you want me
Greek.
to give you a clue?
Go on.
The sequel to Al Qaeda
ISIS.
ISIS.
Hey, there was also an
That was a
Egyptian.
joke she used,
I'm
so
sure-
I
I'm
can't
sure
take
there-
credit for that.
I'm sure there was also an Egyptian god called ISIS as well.
That's what I wanted, mate. Wait, what did I say?
You said Greek.
Oh, sorry, I meant Egyptian.
You meant Egyptian.
Cleopatra? Which one was that?
Egyptian.
My
yes.
bad, yeah. That one.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, ISIS. Which is amazing, though. I was watching it and I think the whole time she was saying nothing about it, and the last thing she said was that she's a sequel to Al Qaeda. It was great.
Well, to be fair play to Al Qaeda. They took over the country again. Second time, you know.
No, that was the Taliban.
The Taliban?
It was the Taliban.
Same difference.
Basically, yeah,
Not
it is the
as-
same thing.
Just crazy people.
People that.
Literally kill people for not liking things that they do.
The main reason that happened is the thing, people keep moaning about Biden or whatever, you know, whoever allowed, you know, the people to come out of the country. But at the same time, we had been like training them, giving them weapons, doing all this stuff for 20 years. 20 years of, you know, like helping along, of training along, giving them helicopters, huge weapons, training up their soldiers. As soon as Biden and all the Americans left, do you know that none of them fought of a fight? They literally laid down their arms and let them walk in. It was just always going to happen.
Wow.
America should have just left earlier. And us as well. Us
I
as
don't
well.
know, you know,
We should have just left earlier because
think
apparently
this
none of
way.
them gave a shit about their country.
Well, that's just
The government, yeah, the people, I don't know, but the government didn't give a shit.
And that's why they got killed.
No, the government didn't get killed. They were just like, yeah, take it. And they're just there with them now.
To be fair,
And probably left, but they're alive still.
I suppose the path of least resistance is probably the best.
Not when you probably have a reasonable chance of killing them,
I suppose you're being...
fucking them off.
No, not only a small group. I mean, how they managed to take over the entire country, I don't know, because
That's what
don't
I'm
they
saying.
have an army?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They didn't call the army in to, like, combat them off?
No, that's what I'm saying. That the British and the Americans trained up their army, gave them weapons, gave them everything, gave them helicopters, gave them
And then they
drones,
joined
everything you can
Al-Qaeda.
imagine. And then as soon as they started and we left, like a few months back or however much it was, they didn't even try. Some of them, I'm sure, probably did, but the main capital just laid down their arms straight away.
Wow.
It just so
And
it's
that's
like
just what they wanted. I mean, maybe they, like, politically agreed with their message. Some people do.
they said they didn't, but who
Well, they
fucking
do say,
knows?
like-
But at the same time, it's like, is it really? I don't like Biden at all. He's fucking falling apart.
He's an old man. He's really old.
Really old.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
He
Trump
forgot
was
his
a
fucking
dickhead.
son's name or his wife's name or something during a speech.
Oh,
His son's name.
That's not good.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to say something like that. It could be a tuba.
He could be a Doma.
But no, I think that like, all the presidents have been. Don't get me wrong. I liked Barack in regards to how he was viewed, like politically. You know, he actually seemed more
He didn't do anything.
human.
He didn't do
anything
anything.
good. But
He did nothing.
I think of it like, I mean, I'm surprised Trump didn't get like a Nobel Peace Prize because he improved relations with America and several countries.
To be fair, you're right.
I mean,
You're right. Like, it's weird to say, isn't it?
yeah, he was an absolute prat of a human being,
He's just stupid.
but he did a lot of good
He
for
actually-
America,
Weirdly, he did.
which is
He
weird to
did.
say.
Yeah, I know.
Because obviously,
I agree completely.
Yeah, he was an absolute prat of a. Yeah, he was a twat, absolute nauseating of a human being. But he did so many good things.
He improved relations with, well, I
North
suppose
Korea,
you
for
don't know.
example.
You don't know until like years forward, but it seemed to improve relations at the time with North Korea, like you said, Russia as well. I think China as well, didn't he?
No, the amount of times that I think the amount that man said China.
China.
You can find the compilation.
China.
Oh,
Right then, but I think, as we said, we should probably cap it off around the hour mark now. We're already at an hour 10 minutes. So, cut it off now. That will cut off that little bit that we had to cut out. And then I need a piss again very badly, and I have done for quite a while.
You really need to like get your small woman bladder looked at.
I do, but I've drank a lot. I haven't even drank that much actually at all. I had like 3 beers.
As long as it doesn't burn when you pee.
Not all the time. So normally, I was about to go into my normal podcast spiel then. Well, I was about to ask you to talk about anything that you had going on at the moment, but I'm guessing you have nothing going on in regards to public view.
In regards to what, sorry?
The public view.
The public view.
Yes.
In what regards?
You're not a public. You're not trying to do public things, are you, at the moment?
Oh, in regards to
I
like
know
things
the answer.
that are going on.
Yeah, I know the answer.
You know the answer. Oh, well, then why did you ask?
Because I'm being a dick. That's why.
Oh, so you're asking a rhetorical question. And
I always ask
make
rhetorical
yourself
questions.
seem
If it's not
superior.
rhetorical question, it's a rhetorical question. So give me one thing.
You can't say the R word.
I can't. I've already said it quite a few times.
You're going to cut it. You're going to bleep it out.
Not in that one, no.
Coward.
So at the end, so anyone that's listening to this point right now is like, they're already in. They're already in with it. They're already here for it.
Well, they're already here for the R word. Retards.
You can say fucking anything you want right now. Anyone listening at this point, they're here with us. Say anything you fucking want.
Let's
for
not.
example,
Let's not. Let's calm down. You know, get off your high horse. Put your dick away. Calm the fuck down.
Shove my dick in a horse's face.
Okay, now we're crossing it.
It wouldn't happen though, because it's tiny and a horse has a long face.
It'd probably bite it off, to be fair, so I wouldn't fucking
That's
do
what I'm
that.
saying, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't notice. It'd be like biting a cocktail. No, it'd be like biting a what's those things that's the wooden sticks?
A cocktail stick?
A cocktail stick. There's another name for it, isn't there?
Oh, what was it called now? I usually call them cocktail sticks because you usually like put them like with fruit on.
Anyway, I have a little dick anyway.
Lovely way to sum it all up there. Just like one little neat package.
But anyway, from myself then anyway, KD Hinken, if you're still listening at this point, I'm going to be at the comedy, the Nottingham Comedy Festival in November at some point. It's the beginning of October right now. I don't know what the date is. Ask Tommy Tomsky, he'll know, or ask me in a week and I'll probably know.
Tommy
Right
Tomsky,
now.
is that his actual name?
No, his name is Tommy Bleep Wager. His name's Tommy Wager, but his stage name is Tommy Tomsky. It's a good stage name, isn't it though?
No.
So I'm Carl Hinken, but I'm KD Hinken on stage. But the only reason I call myself KD Hinken is because apparently when I say my name Carl with my list, people can't understand me, and they think I'm saying Chris, they think I'm saying Kyle. Someone generally thought for ages that I was called Carl. There was a guy who lives in my grove, my mum's grove. And
Kyle, I can understand, but Chris...
I don't know. But there was a guy who lives in my grove. I have talked to him for... How long has my mum lived in that grove? Like a good 7 years by this point.
Yes, it's cream. Well, yeah.
Probably longer. But every time he talks to me, he's a lovely guy and he calls me Chris. And I don't want to... At this point, I don't want to tell him that's not my name. I don't know why he thinks it. But I think he already knows because the guy upstairs is called Chris and he was talking to him the other day about me. In a nice way.
No.
In a nice way. We was on
Maybe
getting high.
maybe he just calls everyone Chris.
Maybe.
So one of those old man traits is just like, I don't remember your name, it's Chris. No.
I know he's a crackhead though.
Oh. Does he need to get the bees out of his teeth?
There's nothing wrong with being crackhead. As long as you are taking what you like, then it's all good.
No.
Yeah.
It's not a message for kids.
Oh, not for kids. Well, kids shouldn't be listening to this.
It's very Moorish though.
Kids shouldn't be listening to this. If kids are listening to this, then turn it off and go and throw something at your parents' head.
Don't agree with that message.
And from two dads, goodbye everyone.
Stay safe and don't die.
But if you are going to die, then just do it in a nice way. Because we all are going to at some point.
Just die way over there.
Way over there. Bye.